Tom, one of the questions on the chat line is U510 versus a TSI hybrid. Now, I'm going to let you tell everybody why they should. It's a no-brainer to play the TSI hybrid as the designer of the hybrids. Then I will give the counterpoint to why utilities are still preferred by some golfers.
Yeah, that's a good question. And basically, what I would tell everybody, try them both. You'll try them and you'll find what fits you. I'll tell you the advantages of a hybrid. Hybrids have a much lower center of gravity and one that's further back from the face than a utility iron can achieve. And what does this do? It creates a much higher inertia we call IXX. That's inertia that affects high shots and low shots. And any golfer who's hit shots off the top of an iron face or thinned one knows the effect that those misses have. And those misses are much better with hybrids. The other thing, hybrids work much better out of long grass than a long iron. It's just the shape, the long hosel, the shape of the blade, the height, and the low CG helps you get it up. It's the reasons tour players use them, and they're quite popular. The number one reason is to find a gapping between their irons and their fairway wood. They're looking for a number, and if it's longer, it's easier to get there with a hybrid and achieve a landing angle that they need to keep the ball on the green. The tour, that's really key. The greens are firm. They can't come in low and hot, and a hybrid definitely will give you a better, longer flight with a higher landing angle than a long iron. So
yeah, that's one of the things Tom, we've talked about in not only metalwood performance, but also iron performance, is we talk about these 3 Ds a lot: distance, dispersion, and angle of descent. And so distance, obviously you want to maximize your distance, but both for a hybrid and for irons, it's about carry distance. We don't really want this thing running out forever, right? You want to hit that number because it's a scoring club. Dispersion, can we get you closer to your target more often? And then this angle of descent, we really focus on this idea of 45 degrees or more, if we can get in that space, is ideal. For some players that don't have enough speed, hey, we can accept anything in the 40s, but that's what we're looking for, is having that ball come out of the sky so that it stops and stays near its target. Yep. Now for the U510, so your counter argument, it's pretty short. It's just the idea of, hey, if you're someone who just can't handle a hybrid, who believes, hey, I hit a hybrid left of left, or I just hate hybrids, I've never been able to hit a hybrid. We had heard that for so many years, and Tom and team have done such a great job making amazing hybrids that we felt like, all right, let's make some great utility irons, because if we haven't convinced you by now that you should play a hybrid, we might never. And so we created these really great utility irons, and Marty Yanez and team drove this development of how do you make one of them almost hybrid-like, and that's the U510. In fact, we put hybrid graphite shafts in both the U510 and U500 because we want to maximize some of that launch and speed that Tom was just talking about. But we give the players options at the high end of their bag, whether it's utility or the hybrids, or as we talked about at the beginning of this, the high lofted fairways. So thank you, Tom.